Hello YouTube, my name is James Clem. Welcome to Rising Potential. This is the Forward Unto Dawn Part 4 of the Halo 4 live action Halo series review. I apologize for the 2-week hiatus. Reason being, if you haven't been following the news or whatever, a recent hurricane called Hurricane Sandy hit the east coast of the United States, and I live in the east coast, and I lost power for a week, and even before the storm hit, my MacBook Pro charger died on me, so I couldn't review the episode even when my power was still on, and then I lost the power. I got my new charger, my power got restored yesterday, and I got everything set up. I can finally do this review, so let's get started. As usual, the link to the episode is in the description. Go watch it, come back, and hear my thoughts so you don't get spoiled. By now, you've probably seen the episode, but if you haven't, it's in the description, and there'll be an annotation somewhere. Go check it out. I'll be doing the outline of the episode, then I'll give my pros of what I thought, pros for me, and then any cons I thought, and then I'll give my overall rating. So, first things first, the episode opens up with Cortana still going crazy from being lonely. The Covenant ships are starting to notice them, and they start scanning the ship to see if there's anything on it. And Cortana gets alerted, and she starts to get freaked out, and she's, obviously still losing her mind from being lonely and thinking herself to death, and she's starting to be rampant. I think at this point she might be rampant already, or she's really close to being rampant. But regardless, the Covenant ship is scanning them, and they're like, hey, there might be someone on there. Maybe we should go check it out. And the next scene, Lasky and his crew are on one of the Covenant, or are on the run from one of the Covenant. It's an elite. And they run out into the courtyard, and there's ODST shooting, and there's freaking needler shots everywhere. Needler is like the needler gun is used a lot in this episode, and so's the energy sword. And that female commander who's like, Lasky, there's a soldier in you. She's like, go, get to the base, and then all of a sudden, boom, freaking 5 needles get shot into her chest, and she goes down instantly. So instant death. And Lasky's pretty much saying all of his friends and people on the base get instantly slaughtered by these Covenant. And they have no idea what's going on. They have no idea why they're attacking, who these are. I don't even think they know what the Covenant is. They have no idea what's going on. Intense shock. She goes down instantly. Lasky and his friends make it to the base, and they try to get to the armory. And on the way, the Asian guy, I believe his name is JJ, the Covenant elite that I believe sliced the statue in the previous part 3, comes up to them, and he takes his energy sword and he freaking stabs him in the chest, lifts him up like nothing, and then throws him to the ground. So JJ gets instantly killed like the commander with the needles. And the CGI, or the special effects they use for the Elite, look pretty good. I mean, there are a few scenes coming up where the Elite looks kind of fake, but I mean, it must be freaking hard to make it look realistic. Like in Spider-Man 3 when they showed Venom, it must have been crazy hard to make those fangs look realistic, and I thought it looked pretty realistic. He goes down instantly. The effects for the sword look really cool, and they're kind of wavy, like the Arbiter from Halo 4. I mean, the Arbiter from Halo Wars, how both of his swords are kind of wavy, probably because the technology back then wasn't as powerful as it was, later on, which is why the sword plasma things are kind of wavy, and like how in Halo 3, it's more of it's more intact, and it's not as wavy. So the Asian guy, JJ, goes down, sword to the chest by the Elite. Lasky and his friends do make it to the armory, but they have trouble opening it. The lock's it's locked tight. They try opening it, it doesn't work. The same Elite comes in, busts the door open. Hector, which I think he's Ginger, but I could be wrong, and he's the guy that got into a fight with Lasky in part 2. And they're hiding around. Great scene, because it really is cool seeing this, because in all the Halo games, you can take down elites like nothing. They're unless you're playing on Legendary, but still, you can still take down elites. You feel like a freaking badass. I can't say in ODST because there are no elites in ODST. And I can't really say that in Wars because it's more of a first-person perspective. So Halo 1, 2, 3, Reach, and probably going to be Halo 4 coming up. When you fight elites, you really feel like you can destroy them, you're badass, and they feel inferior to you. In this scene, the Elite steps up, and it's Lasky who's inferior to the Elite because he's so powerful. And you really feel you really feel how scared the main characters are. And I felt I wasn't really scared, but I'm just like, wow, suspense galore. This scene is amazing. The Elite is in control 100% until the very end, of course. But yeah, he's stalking them, and there's no talk. Well, I think there's a little talking, but there's no action. It's just him walking around in the room, and it's a very beautiful scene. I love it. Greatly shot, just amazing. And then eventually Hector makes the bold sacrifice and distracts the Elite. And the Elite just throws his sword and he instantly stabs Hector. And once again, Hector goes down, or once again, another character goes down, instant death. There's not like, oh, he dies slowly. Every death is boom, 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 instant. The commander girl gets shot with a needle rifle, goes down instantly. JJ gets stabbed with the sword, goes down instantly. Hector gets stabbed with the sword, goes down instantly. And then the Elite finds Lasky and his crew, and he's about to kill them, and all of a sudden, boom! From behind them, Master Chief. And I have to say, that is an amazing way to introduce Master Chief to the show. Amazing way, and it looks fantastic. I will say, though, that the numbers 117 are very visible, and they're kind of too visible. It's like, okay, we get it, it's John, we don't need to have that number in our face, you know, but other than that, it was a really awesome scene, and, you know, Master Chief easily busts open the armory. Lasky and his crew get some weapons, and they're on the run, and they go outside, and I believe they're the only ones left alive. Everyone else around them is dead, and I believe there's a scene where it shows the dead general, but I could be wrong. And out of nowhere, a needle pierces Sullivan in the leg, I believe. Again, the needle rifle, or like not the needle rifle, or maybe it is a needle rifle, but the needle from those weapons are like is like the dominant killer in this episode. Well, not really, because the sword kills 2 people and the needle doesn't kill Sullivan, but you know it's still used in the attack. Sullivan gets wounded in the leg by a sniper jackal, so it might be the needle rifle from Halo Reach. And yeah, they take cover. There's an awesome scene where Chief blocks a needle from Sullivan and he shoots back with his assault rifle. And then eventually, after some more intense action, Chief and the gang get into a Warthog, which is confusing because only 3 people can fit into a Warthog, yet they managed to get, I believe, 5 people in it. I guess, you know, Warthogs are made for big people, and there's like Lasky's small, so I guess the more room, like 2 people per seat, I guess. Chief mounts the machine gun, and they run off to go to part 5. So part 4, very action-packed, very, very good episode. The camera, effects, music, sound effects, acting, all really good. Humongous suspense during that Elite part. I very much enjoyed that. And the Covenant CGI looks great. It looks good. The Jackals They look okay from a distance, and like their silhouette in the smoke look really nice. But when you really look at them closely, they're kind of fake. But obviously, I'm not going to bash on that because I'm sure it must be really hard to make those look realistic. Because obviously, in the editing process, there's nothing there. I'm pretty sure there's nothing there, and that's all CGI. The Elite looks up close. It looks very fake, or not very fake, but it looks like you could tell that it's not real and it's only there digitally, but it still looks pretty decent. And from far away, the Elite looks realistic. So the CGI overall looks amazing. Regardless, up close it looks kind of fake, but I'm not going to fault them on that because I'm sure it must be freaking hard to make that possible. Yeah, the CGI for the Elite looks a little bit off, but I'm not going to complain about that. Like I said, minor issue. And there's a scene where Chief's running, and he looks a bit awkward running, like he's bouncing back and forth. I'm not really gonna harp on that because, like I said, it only happens like 2 seconds in the entire thing. Like the Elite in the show only happens for a few scenes, so it's not a big detriment. It's just something that I noticed in the episode that kind of bugged me a little bit, but not too much. But yeah, he's like running and he's like bonking around like a freaking penguin, probably because he's in a humongous bulk armor. But like I said, that's not a big issue. Just kind of noticed. I just kind of noticed it. He's like bobbing back and forth. Looks a bit uncomfortable, and it looks a little bit silly. But hey, like I said, not a humongous. It's not going to destroy the episode for me. So overall, episode 4 or part 4 of whatever you want to call it, 4 Unto Dawn Halo 4. I really liked it. I thought it was a very good episode. Is it better than part 3? I don't really know because I love part 3 a lot because of the introduction to the Covenant, and it was a very good introduction, but I did love Chief's entrance. I love this humongous suspense before the Elite. So yeah, I might say this is my favorite part so far. I very much enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought of part 4. I thought it was really, really, really good. So Forward Unto Dawn is freaking amazing. Blew me out of the water. I never thought it'd be this good. So thank you for watching. Let me know your opinions on Part 4. And if you haven't catched my last 2 videos on Rising Potential, click here on the screen now. My last video is Part 2 of the Road to Halo 4, and my second to last video is Part 1 of my Road to Halo 4. Halo 4 is coming up. I hope you liked the video. Thank you for watching. Have a good one. Ciao for now.